Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a business valuation expert in St. Louis, Missouri. During this podcast episode, we will discuss collaboration and strategic planning for baby boomers and financial advisors. I have the privilege to interview former IRS auditor Mike Gregory. He's a mediator in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, author of 11 books regarding various valuation and tax topics, as well as the creator of The Collaboration Effect. He is a frequent speaker at estate planning council events and provides mediation services to a variety of business and nonprofit organizations. So what is it about the listening that we can do better at to make sure that our employees are on all the same path to success?
Well, I'm going to tell you a kind of a cute story. I was a frontline manager and managed a group with 7 guys and 1 gal. And I was assigned to a new group, and that group had 1 guy and 8 females. And after I'd been in that job about 2 weeks, I knew something wasn't quite right, but I didn't know what it was. So one of the employees there, her name was Gail. Gail came to my office and I said, Gail, I just feel like something isn't quite right, but I don't know what it is. And I'm wondering if you can help me. And Gail looked down and she thought about it for a second, and face got kind of red. And she said, well, Mike, there's times when we come in your office that all we want you to do is just listen. And I said, okay. When people came, I was a manager, and I thought as a manager, I'm supposed to have the answers. So when you ask me a question, I should answer your question. And I'm answering questions all the time during the day. But I'm going to bring this up at a group meeting. So I thanked Gail. I brought it up at a group meeting. I actually think the group felt sorry for me because I'm trying. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, but they said, we'll work with you. So they came up with a plan. And the plan went like this. If they came to my door, they knocked on the side of the door, my door's open, and they used a code word. And the code word they used was blue. If they said blue, I was working right here on my computer, looked up, somebody said blue. I was on a chair with rollers. I push off from my desk. I can roll over here to a circular little table on the side. I grabbed a pad of paper and a pen on the way. I set it down. And when they came in, what I did is I listened. So what did that mean? That meant I summarized, I paraphrased, I asked open-ended questions, and I empathized. But I did not provide any solutions. That's key. I did not provide any solutions. I might lead towards a given area with the questions I had. And I found out 9 times out of 10, they figured it out. And when they figured it out, they felt really good about it. They remembered it, and they learned this process of working with me. And I actually started getting less questions from my employees. So since they felt better, it reduced my workload. I felt better. Things were going extremely well in that regard. I said, wow, this listening is really important. Now, if they finally said, well, Mike, what do you think? Of course, I have an opinion, and I would bounce out what I think and have a discussion. But 9 times out of 10, they figured it out themselves just because I listened to them. Well, for me, that was over 25 years ago. And I looked at that as that was an aha moment. I felt so excited about this. I came home. I told my wife about this. You know what my wife said to me? You can do that at home too. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was money in the bank. Okay. That was money in the bank. What I need to do is just close my mouth more and listen more and ask questions. Just to help me with that, right here, I'm looking at my screen right here, my monitor. I have a Post-it note that I keep here. When clients call, potential clients call, it says, focus on being interested in them, not being interesting. Me tell them about me. So in terms of listening, I need to listen to them. I need to ask more. I need to make sure I'm asking those open-ended questions. So even a guy like me that's been trying to do this for 25 years, I still have that Post-it right there to remind me, focus on being interested in them, not in being interesting. And I'll answer their questions. And the same thing now is true with the folks that you're working with, the folks who work for you. I have in my book, I have a new book that's coming out. It's not out yet. It's in print, but I have a whole series of stories. And one of the stories I have in the book is a guy who was the 5-minute interpersonal relationship by an executive. I witnessed this, how well this worked. Now, these are folks working in cubicles, okay, all over the place. And this person would walk on down, he'd come up to a given cubicle with somebody in it, And he'd say, hi, I'm such and such. And who are you? Now, this person was a director with over 1,500 employees and not normally on this site. It's like, wow, this is a director. It's like the CEO of the company, right? Person would go, yeah, well, I'm such and such. And then this person would very calmly just say, and so what do you do here? The person would say, I'm a whatever their job title is. And the person would look around, and then they'd also say, the second thing they'd do is they'd say, what are you working on right now? And what employee doesn't want to share, I'm working on this right now. I'm kind of proud of what I'm working on. And then the executive would say, something in the cube. Oh, are these your kids? Is that your dog? I see a calendar with cats. Do you like cats? Just something of a personal nature that's in the cube to let that person say something personally. This all happened in a matter of about 3 minutes, maybe 4, maximum 5. And then this executive would say, is there anything you want to share with me? And I watched how this played out. And about 1 out of 10 times, the executive got a golden nugget. Something that's actually really important. That's really cool. Now, anytime they were asked, most of the time there wasn't a question. There wasn't something they wanted to share, but sometimes there were. And about 1 out of 10 was a golden nugget. It could be a golden nugget that's really good. It could be a golden nugget that's not good at all. But you also know there's 2 sides to every story. So this executive would say, I'll follow up on that. He had an assistant that was with the executive. The assistant would jot down this employee and what the thought was and would follow up. And then at some point in the future, that employee got a follow up with, first of all, a thank you that said, thank you for sharing that with me. I am currently following up, or I have followed up, or whatever. If it was something negative, they explored the other side. When they did it, they found out about 9 times out of 10, it was a miscommunication. 9 times out of 10, a miscommunication. So once the communication had been righted, that employee was like, oh, okay. Because when we hear something new, what's our natural tendency? Negative. I don't know what it is, but it could hurt me. So I'm going negative. So when rumors are going around, we go down. It's negative. And once that was cleared up, it was addressed.